Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Neberos. We're back with another video. It's been a while. The last one I uploaded, despite having over 100 views, there was no audio because OBS decided it was going to change my default device. So you basically watched you basically watched the video as it played with literally no sound, not even from the actual video. But I think I managed to sort it all out. There's no way I'm going to know until I actually preview this video. So yeah. Reacting to some Rev says Desu about the VTuber Streamer Awards and the best VTuber situation being a complete mess. And sorry about the Discord messages, people getting it's all active in my Discord, so that you're going to be hearing the bob bob in the background. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, one or all three. Link to the original video will be down below. And with that being said, let's get into it.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rip here.
Hey Rev,
So today we're going to be looking at the results of the very prestigious and well-respected events of the Streamer Awards of
said Rev, his voice thick like sarcastic Marmite.
2025. This is something we've been hinting at for quite some time because there was some drama involving the nomination list and some of the people involved. And it really lived up to what you expect from an award show like this. It's ultimately a joke and shouldn't be taken that seriously because at the end of the day, this is not some neutral and ultimately fair landscape where the best streamer is going to win each category that is assigned to them. Instead, it's ultimately a circle jerk of a bunch of the most popular streamers in the scene. And during this, a lot of people are showing up to really just make a public appearance and ultimately create a lot of drama, as we've seen with this edition in 2025. There was a lot of drama and controversy, and that's what we're going to be laughing at today because what else do you do with an event like this?
I mean, yeah, so the results in actually a few categories I've seen hint that this is not to be taken seriously. But there's people who are gonna. It's like you may as well. There was a time when the Oscars were taken seriously, and because it meant something, right? And so I just question the whole point of this. If it's not meant to be just totally clowned on, memed on, made fun of, then you shouldn't uh, like if that's what they want the streamer awards to be about, just something to make fun of, and like let's not take serious. We'll take it with like mountainous piles of salt, and we're not taking it seriously and whatnot. Then you shouldn't market it and like promote it in a way that says that like this is the defined this is actually something we do take seriously, and how VTubers and all these streamer categories and whatnot are actually um, presented, right? So if Asmongold wins best chatting stream, it's not necessarily because he's the best chatting stream. It's because you know what, a whole bunch of people thought, let's piss a bunch of other people off by nominating him, and that's actually what's happened with the VTuber awards, I think. And so the bottom line, if it's not to be taken seriously, if it's not credible, then it shouldn't be presented like that.
So there's a lot to talk about. We're going to see some drama involving the host, Cutie Cinderella, who spent over $1 million apparently on this event.
So if it's not meant to be taken seriously, what's with that price tag, and what the hell is she wearing? That is not a town be that is not an out that is not a top that is appropriate to be outside.
She's being called racist for some of her comments. She also made some jokes to the expense of Hassan Piker, who decided to
Well, he is a joke, so
dress up as Chairman Mao for some reason, which honestly makes a lot more sense when you realize his regime executed millions of dogs because they're seen as a sign of luxury. But also, you have this full grown woman, 29-year-old,
I,
in
again, not an outfit that is suitable to be out in public. Call me a prude if you want, but you can't, you cannot wear something like that. And because maybe not her specifically, but people wear stuff like that and be like, oh, men just look at my tits. Well, do you know what? If they're not out there, if they like, tell your tits to stop looking at my eyes. Okay, right? Men are gonna look, and you can't complain about the male gaze. Maybe she doesn't do it specifically, but you can't complain about the male gaze and go out dressed like that. Come on.
Idea of crashing the stage and making a statement basically upset because another streamer who's a 17-year-old kid didn't win an award she thought he should have. And then we're going to see the very controversial results of the Best VTuber Award. We'll get into that. But also, there is another situation where Kai was called Diddy by one of the hosts, and that obviously sparked a lot of controversy. But let's begin with the host, Cutie Cinderella, who's been in a lot of drama recently. She's been involved with the whole Collargate situation, as we've covered before.
Yeah.
And she made some funny jokes, I will say. She made a joke about Dan Clancy being ultimately a creepy old man. Not really much of a joke. People just kind of know that at this point. But
Yeah,
she
that's
made a lot
true.
of jokes at the expense of Hassan Piker. That was really a theme of the night. Here's one of the examples of that.
Stay seated as much as possible. Hassan, if you see Sea Dog get up, you can use your remote.
Well, you know what? Props to him. He took it well.
Instantly, this is very
So,
funny. This is
yeah.
a funny interaction given the two people this is between because number one, you have Cutie Cinderella, who ultimately contradicted statements made by Hassan Piker a couple months ago when the whole shock collar incident started, Collargate, if you will. She came out with a statement as a co host on a podcast with Hassan and someone who spends a lot of time with him and said there is tape on the collar and there was also shock prongs that were taken off, which completely contradicted everything Hassan had said up until that point. And there was a bunch of crash outs from her,
Yeah,
and
it's not a
she
good
was
look.
criticized for that, or at least exposed for contradicting him. And now we're also seeing these jokes where Hassan and all these people involved with the controversy are trying to say, ha, we're in on the joke too, which is totally not the reality. Okay, Hassan is seething about this. This is why it's continued on for so long. In fact, only a couple days ago, he crashed out because someone approached him in real life with a photo of a Collargate meme. In fact, Hassan was so mad about this, he compared that experience of someone standing next to him with a meme to Emiru being essayed at TwitchCon.
Of course he would, but you know what? Actually leaning into it is probably the smartest thing he could do.
They're not in on the joke, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to play it off now. But you might have been looking at his outfit and saying to yourself, what's going on here? Well, I think his post here makes it very clear. It's captioned, I'm at a very Chinese point in my life. Do you know anyone else who could tweet something like this and his fans like unironically support it? He's
No.
literally dressed up like Chairman Mao, which is a leader, an incompetent and cruel leader in Chinese history who is ultimately
Yeah, if you don't know, Chairman Mao he's not exactly a role model. We'll say that.
responsible for somewhere between 40 to 70 million deaths, most of which coming from starvation and political executions. It's very wholesome chungus for him to wear this outfit to the event. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Look at the comments. So when China has no diversity, closed borders, and executes drug dealers, it's not an issue. You look like you're about to send tanks to Tiananmen Square. We will be less tolerant for you there than we are here. It's fun to LARP about China until your YouTube video gets flagged by a AI server cluster running on melted Uyghur biofuel, and you get disappeared by a squad of nondescript low-level functionaries in Shanghai. Dang. You won't stop until you shock 40 million dogs to death. And that is a comment a lot of people are bringing up. Given Chairman Mao's rule here, this is a real fact. During the Cultural Revolution from 1966 to 1976, pet dogs were brutally purged as symbols of bourgeoisie, luxury, and Western decadence, leading to mass slaughter and near extinction of some breeds. Interesting.
And that's the thing that bothers me about Hassan. He's like, oh, communism, this communism is so great, blah blah blah. Hassan, you would be one of the you would be among the kulaks exiled to Siberia. They would strip you down to your skivvies and send you out to Siberia while they take all your shit. That's what they would do in a communist regime. In communist China, literally the same thing, but in a different way. Different but same. You would not have everything that you have now. And if that doesn't bother you, then I'd say, you know what? Give money. Give money to people who actually need it. Fund my degree for me. There's a link to my GoFundMe in my profiles and shit.
Yeah, like the jokes write themselves. It doesn't even matter at this point. Like it's completely shameless. He can pretty much do whatever, and his fans are still going to support him. But this is what he's known for at this point. He's
Kitty
known as the
cat.
guy who zaps dogs,
Hello.
and I guess he's embracing it with the Chairman Mao outfit. Amazing stuff. But that wasn't the only joke. We also had
I got a little meow
Squinty
meow.
here, one of the co-hosts of the events, make a
Never heard of
vibrating
it.
collar joke to Hassan, and here was his very interesting response.
Hassan is
Oh god, I've got to hear his voice again.
here. Is that a vibration remote in your pocket, or are you just excited to be here?
I'll put it on you later.
Is that a threat or like a? Could you explain your inspiration for your outfit tonight? It looks familiar for some reason to me.
Why would it be familiar to you? I don't understand. I mean, I got it in China, but yeah.
Maybe because I'm Chinese. Maybe that's why. It just looks familiar.
I gotta tell you, isn't that a bit of a weird comment to make, especially when we now know Hassan has a girlfriend by the name of Valkyrie? Okay, so this was his secret girlfriend for a while now. It got outed recently by people like Ethan Klein.
I mean, yeah, on the face of it, it's weird and whatnot, but well, not really on the face of it. When you think about it, like he's got a girlfriend making that comment and whatnot, that's why you just got to take it at face value. He was just playing around. I'm defending Hassan Piker. What is this world?
So he's
Oh, excuse
saying
me.
that
What is this
Kyle's
world
hooked up
coming
to
to?
another woman. But you know what? That's his relationship. He can do whatever he wants. If he wants to make jokes about putting collars on other women, I guess that's his prerogative. But also, weird comments and aggressive comments like that come at a really bad time when recently there was a big expose by people who apparently were in the same fraternity as Hassan Piker who are sharing a whole bunch of creepy behavior that he allegedly did, especially creepy behavior towards women in his same college. But yeah, I guess, reading the room has never been something that he's been really trying to do. But let's move on to the very controversial results of the Best VTuber Award. Now, this was the nominee list at Chibi Doki, Iron Mouse, Kenji, Mori Calliope, and the Burnt Peanut, which will be the controversial one. Let's be honest here. We kind of know where this is going, but there was other stuff going on. So Iron Mouse, obviously one of the faces of VTubing, and she's won this award 2 years in a row. But the disrespect for VTubers was there from the jump. You pretty much expect it with streamer awards or anything like this. Once it gets into kind of the more normie spaces, you see a bunch of ridiculous and slanderous and awful behavior directed towards VTubers. And once again, Iron Mouse was no exception, with Jinxie pretending to crash his stream while listening to an Iron Mouse performance. I guess trying to signal to his audience it was so bad he just wanted to pull the plug on his stream. And I guess that's what happens when you have to cater to a bunch of people who see anything with VTubers and are probably calling you a bunch of ridiculous names and Reddit tier humor. But anyways,
What's about he like fake crashed his stream and then watched it from start to finish anyway? Because Iron Mouse may be many things, but she's not a bad performer and she sings absolutely beautifully. I am genuinely pissed off that I cannot sing half as well as she can. So yeah, anyone saying Iron Mouse musical performance and whatnot is bad, that's just pure cope.
under the comments of that post, someone added context saying Iron Mouse can't leave her house. She's disabled because some people are like, oh, why isn't she in person? Why isn't she in person? Well, she has an immune deficiency disease. And Ricky Berwick with a big L saying I'm disabled, that's no excuse for this stuff, referring to her performance quality, I guess, and then saying, correction, I can only go out on Sundays due to my lack of intelligence.
Yeah, Ricky. Um, there's a reason I don't follow you and actually have you muted on Twitter.
He would delete all of this.
Fucking
But yeah, a lot
idiot.
of people were not too happy to see that from him. But ultimately, the winner of the Best VTuber award would go to Burnt Peanuts. Now, in case you haven't heard of this guy,
Which I never did.
what some people say is a filter, some people say it's pre-rigged, but he's a peanut. Okay, he's a peanut. And one of the ongoing jokes in his community, they say it's a bit, so that's what people are saying, that he hates being called a VTuber. He wants to be known as a P-tuber, as a peanut tuber, I guess. And also, he has made jokes about basically wanting to win this category when he was nominated because it would make a bunch of people in the VTubing scene very upset.
And I have a major issue with that because why do it just to piss people off? No, but the people you're pissing off, they're not hurting you. They're not bothering you. They probably don't even watch you. I never heard of this idiot until this thing, and I think his win is a major slap in the face for VTubers all over the show. Any VTuber could have been nominated over this dude, and yet he takes the win, and he only did it so that he could piss people off. Like, what kind of an asshole are you? Honestly, there's a lot of things I think I could do to piss people off, but then I think, I could also do crystal meth, and maybe that's not such a good idea.
Every time I play with that guy, first thing he says, he goes, "Make sure you guys go vote Peanut for VTuber of the Year."
Yeah.
And then I rip him up with something. I don't know what I say, but everybody knows I don't like being called a VTuber just because it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing.
Doesn't it just mean virtual tuber?
No, I don't think so.
Do you think if you won, this question for everybody, do you think if you were to win an achievement like that VTubers would be pissed?
Wait a second. Hold up, wait a minute. Shroud could be onto something.
This could actually be a good thing. If you win, you could, you don't like VTubers, you're a P-tuber and all.
The
So
master
if you
plan.
win the VTuber award,
Big rage bait.
yeah, think about that. Think about the damage you could do to the VTuber community.
Think about the damage you could do to the VTuber community. Yeah, because the world being the fucked up mess that it is needs more assholes damaging shit. Honestly, go fuck yourself, dude.
If you won as a P-tuber.
That is an excellent point, Shroud. Excellent point.
Ready to strike.
Wow. I never thought about it that way. Honestly,
Vote for
I'm in.
Peanut.
I'm in.
Yeah, so this alone tells me everything I need to know about this dude. Probably there's a reason. There's probably a reason I never heard of him beforehand because he's like, honestly, my thoughts right now is what an absolute piece of shit.
Yeah, vote for
Vote for me, gentlemen.
I didn't want to throw shade at this dude because maybe one day it's me people are seeing and they're like, oh, who's Neberos, but. You know what? If I'm ever nominated, it'd be because I fucking deserve it, not because a whole bunch of people wanted to cause damage to the VTuber scene. Fuck them, honestly.
Let's get him.
So I think you know where this is going. When he won the award, a lot of VTubers and VTuber fans were upset about this because
And rightly so.
some people just outright said he doesn't fit the definition of a VTuber, which is a very
I think he could qualify as a VTuber. Where I take issue is that he doesn't like VTubers, he doesn't care for them, he actively denigrates them, and he doesn't see himself as a VTuber, but he was nominated, and he won, and his sole reason for doing so, as we've literally just heard, whether it was in jest or not, was to cause damage, was to rage bait, was to piss people off. What an absolute piece of shit.
semantic related thing we'll talk about in a second. But a lot of people also see the jokes in his community about not wanting to be a VTuber associated with VTubing whatsoever, and they thought it should have gone to a more traditional VTuber, if you want to say that. But this guy is very successful. He's blown up a lot over the past year.
Yeah, and his audience are all like in their teens probably, or they have room temperature IQs because I've watched some of his stuff in preparation for this. I'm like, okay, so what's all the hubbub, right? And you know what? If I want that level of stupidity and chaos, I'll go play with my Springer Spaniel. At least it's nice to look at and very cute.
So clearly he's entertaining a lot of people, but I think it came down more to how he fit into this category and also the reactions from people in his community, but also people who just wanted to dunk on VTubers. So they saw this happen, and the comments are just obnoxious.
I mean, there's a lot of people. Once again, I think there's a lot of people I could dunk on and whatnot, and like there's a few names been mentioned in my videos and whatnot over the since I started in July, and I could go out and trash and dunk on people all the livelong day. But I don't do it because it doesn't give me anything. There's no value to it. I'm not helping anybody. I'm not reducing the amount of suffering people have. I'm not reducing the amount of suffering in the world. And I'm certainly not reducing the amount of suffering I experience. Because then you go out, you dunk on people, you get shit back. And I don't want to open that can of worms, really. I just want people to, I just want people to get along, be nice to each other, and if you can't be nice, at least don't be mean, right? And if you're going to be mean, then I think you're a piece of shit.
See just a small portion here. Peanut won because he's actually entertaining, not a corporate
Not entertaining to me, no.
anime bot. Everyone's saying Peanut isn't a VTuber because your favorite man with a $50,000 model and voice changer didn't win, and they share the definition of what a VTuber is. And then this person says Peanut is the only one with a personality. The rest of them are just for teenage gooners.
Yeah, and Peanut's the only one with personality. Well, no, he's basically I Show Speed in a different form. But the, the the rest of them are just for teenage gooners. Well, Kenji, hello. Um, and then you got Chibi Doki. Totally not Guna material. Iron Mouse, she plays into it sometimes, but generally she's super wholesome. And then there's Mori Calliope, and you'll never find a sweeter VTuber out there. And she doesn't play into the Guna material at all. So, sorry, Money MacGyver, you're just plain wrong.
And then you saw this tweet from Kitsu that would pop off. It's
Based.
50 plus thousand likes. So a lot of people agree with this, saying non-VTuber won the best VTuber award.
Yep, based.
People were not happy about this one. The comments reek, dude. People are just angry at anything that looks like a VTuber. And clearly
and why? This is exactly the reaction they went out of their way to elicit. This Kitsu's literally done exactly what this asshole wanted the people to do.
Can't have any sort of a disagreement or a series of questions about this whole situation without being labeled as jealous or a bunch of ridiculously slanderous things. Here's a small, just a tiny snippet of the replies to Kitsu's post. Wow, you anime incels are really insufferable. Why are you mad that your favorite 50-year-old man streamer who cosplays as a 12-year-old anime girl didn't win? Get a grip, loser.
Projection.
He stole that award away from the mentally unstable.
Citation needed.
It's stupid. You don't get to be secretly ugly and famous. Yeah, you're right. We should let VTubers who show 90% of their bodies and have a community full of gooners win. Do a face reveal, you fat AF. It's not that deep. VTubers don't need to be all lolicons. LMAO, you're mad because he isn't a cringe
yes, he is.
Anime character streaming
He's cringe, certainly, but
VTubers as a whole are extremely cringe. Very glad he won over all of y'all, and especially over you.
The normal people.
VTubers are a joke itself anyways. Weird stuff. VTubers are mentally ill. You weren't winning.
Citation needed.
VTuber, how is he not? Because he's not VTubing as a 13-year-old anime girl.
Projection.
VTubers are genuine losers, not gonna lie.
Projection.
His fan base are not simps watching a woman that behaves like an underage girl.
Kitsu doesn't do that.
That's a lot of projection, ladies and gentlemen. They
Hmm.
see a simple post, and a lot of these people are just projecting about some very weird stuff.
And can we assume, do you think based on these reactions, do you think it's a safe assumption that they are Peanut's audience?
But it's weird to see a lot of these comments so angry about VTubers and how, they say how VTubing is so stupid and lame and gross. And then they're fighting for their lives to justify this guy being considered a
Exactly.
VTuber. In fact, if you go to the proposed notes, people have been trying all day to add a note saying, regardless of opinion, the burnt peanut fits the definition of a VTuber. And yeah, we're doing kind of the actuallys. If you have to really go to the actuallys, I think you're going to lose a lot of the people. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, the people who think he's a VTuber or don't like VTubers are going to consider him a VTuber, and among VTubers, it's going to be kind of split, right? And you can see here, a lot of people think like this. As much as I love Peanut, I think this category should have stricter rules about what qualifies as a VTuber, especially since Peanut himself has said multiple times that he doesn't really consider himself a VTuber and isn't fond of VTubing culture.
And as we just saw, he only encouraged nominations and had and even got nominated because he wanted to piss people off.
Here's another one saying, call me lame, but this is really disheartening to see. To me, it's not even because of his model, but more of how he holds himself. He doesn't associate himself as a VTuber and doesn't really represent or support the VTubing community. A lot of people are like,
And he went out of his way to piss the VTubing community off.
haha, you mad, but it's really, we just wanted someone to win that supports the VTubing community and that are actually proud to be one.
Yeah, personally I would have liked to have seen Moira Calliope win it because she's been in it for a long time and she puts a lot of effort in. She puts a lot of work into what she does. Not saying that Iron Mouse and Chibidoki and Kenji don't, but you know, I'm maybe a little bit biased towards Moira Calliope. So this Peanut dude, I don't think he deserves it at all, especially now that I know, based on his own words, that he literally just did it to piss people off.
Here's another response saying him even being nominated basically showed how much this award was a joke. And that's really, I think, the ultimate takeaway.
Yeah.
I don't think this is something worth like seething and crashing out over. But I think some of the issues people are raising about how broad this category has become, I think those are valid things to say. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this is the Streamer Awards. Like, this is a joke, anyways. Like, I don't think these people running it really care at all about VTubers.
They care enough to drop $1 million on it.
Let's be entirely honest, or know that much. And even some of the people who lost the category, like Iron Mouse said, me cringing at all the people mad that Peanut won. Every VTuber in that category deserved to be there.
Now, I love Iron Mouse, I really, really do. She was one of the first VTubers I ever watched, and I still keep up to date and follow her stuff. But I disagree vehemently with her on this, especially where Peanut is concerned, and rather exclusively where Peanut is concerned, because we know he did it literally just to piss people off. And the fact that he was not only nominated but won, while actively going out of his way to piss the VTuber community off, he doesn't see himself as a VTuber. He's not fond of VTuber culture, and in some cases has actively denigrated and disrespected VTubers. It's a massive slap in the face. Like she's cheering while she's cheering and clapping for him while he's spitting in her face. And unfortunately, Callie is on there as well, but she would because she's just that type of person. This could be seen as just taking the loss on the chin, and fair enough. That's probably the best way to handle it and whatnot. But I personally don't take it very well when people slap me in the face, and that's how it feels. Why the hell? Why the hell should I go out and drop the artist I'm looking to commission for my model and stuff is quoted almost 5,000 South African rand, but we can probably look closer to 10,000, right? Why in the hell should I drop that much money on something when this dude looks like he's got a fucking Microsoft Word assistant from Word 95? And then he actively shits on VTuber community and everything as well. Like, why should I even bother going further at this point? Because an asshole like that wins it. What is Iron Mouse's motivation to keep going? Why should she or any of them put that as much effort into what they're doing when some random yammering Yahoo who is like just he's loud, obnoxious, totally over the top and chaotic, is over exaggerates literally everything and yeah, so maybe he's entertaining. Like, I'm sure my 13-year-old nephew finds him absolutely brilliant. Maybe my 9-year-old niece finds him absolutely brilliant. But, you know, I don't watch Iron Mouse or Callie or Chibi Doki. I've actually never watched anything from Chibi Doki. Sorry, Chibi, you're never going to see this, but whatever, there's the apology. I don't watch them for gooner bait, like people say. I have very personal and very personal and sensitive reasons for watching Callie, and Iron Mouse as well is part of. She shares a measure of that with Callie, so yeah, it's just a slap in the face, and here they are defending it.
The only thing I add really is that you have to be a little bit cognizant of what's going on. I'm seeing literally thousands of comments dunking on VTubers because of this results. So I think it's important to realize that, yeah, as mainstream as you might think VTubing is, this is another reminder that no, it's really not.
No,
And a lot of people are not laughing with VTubers over the situation, they're laughing at VTubers.
exactly as Peanut intended.
And I think it's important to notice that. But speaking of cringe, let's get back to the event itself. Let's look at the other categories. There was a situation where FaZe Ronaldo
Never heard of
made
him.
some comments about India Love. If you don't know who any of these people are, you're probably gainfully employed. But
Literally just starting a job. I'm still doing the training, and they confirmed that they confirmed it, not this Friday past, the Friday before that the onboarding process has begun. So, yeah, I may be gainfully employed fairly soon.
India Love, a streamer, apparently ran on stage and said that DDG and Rakai deserve to be the breakout streamer of the year.
I don't know who any of those
FaZe
people are.
Ronaldo said she has BBL brain. That's pretty funny. But
What's
what happened?
BBL?
So, Adapt, a member of FaZe, won Best Breakout Streamer. Okay, he won his award. Then what happens? Oh, a grown woman runs onto the stage to protest who she thought should have won. This was not a planned event. She literally crashed onto the stage to do this.
Real quick, y'all. I know Breakout Streamer of the Year went to Adapt, and congratulations, and we respect you for what you did. But Rakai should have won Breakout Streamer of the Year and DDG. I don't care what y'all say. Shout out Rakai, shout out blah 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 blah.
Not only is this just kind of embarrassing and shameless behavior,
It reminds me of that whole who was it that went up on stream and like stole that moment from Taylor Swift?
realize also
I was mad. Trust Asmongold. Fucking awesome.
Literally crashing the stage to protest on the behalf of is a 17-year-old. So like I think this is a kind of a weird thing to do, and apparently people were saying she was also drunk, which I guess would make a lot of sense.
Well, she'd have to be to wear that.
And you can see the reaction
Unless she's a hoe.
here kind of sums up how a lot of people are looking at this. And yeah, there's also some comments to be raised because apparently Cutie Cinderella during this was making jokes about Rakai stealing things. And people are trying desperately in tweets, with a lot of support, by the way, saying she's racist. Well,
What? The Clover Boys were not happy after Cutie Cinderella made racist comments to Rakai at the Streamer Awards. What's the coolest thing you've ever stolen? He stole 6K from clicks and shoplifted flowers.
Unfortunately for them, he literally does steal things. This is not a racial comment. He literally stole $6,000 from clicks and also shot.
So if Rakai was white, do you think he'd still say that? Do you think so? Rakai, so Rakai's white. If Rakai was white, do you think this Ray Schemes person would still be accusing Cutie Cinderella of racism if she had said the same thing? I don't always like going to the let's flip the script kind of thing, but you have to ask. And I'm thinking it's literally just because he's black that the guy said, which would then ironically make Ray the racist.
Lifted flowers on stream, and that happened like a couple days ago. In fact, the first event is why he's banned currently. And this was a bit he did. He went into Walmart and gave people flowers that he did not pay for, and then ran away because.
It is like this is this. Oh my god! Why is he in his PJs? Like, and why are they like children's PJs? The guy's 17 years old. Wear boxers, man. Well, maybe not out in public. Just like dress properly, you know.
He knew when they exited the store, they were going to be flagged by security. So this guy, he's kind of doing what the joke is intending, right? But things get even sloppier when Fan.
I don't understand. I do not understand. Like, is it so hard not to just go out and do this shit? Like this. Like, sure, it's for clout and whatever. You're gonna throw your whole life away getting yourself arrested, and depending on what you take or how much you take, it becomes a felony. And so once you got a felony, chances are, I don't know about this kid's wealth, but if a public defender is almost certainly going to tell him to take a deal, and that means a felony is a minimum 5-year prison sentence. Mandatory. So you go out, you steal shit like this, you do all this kind of crap, you get pinched. Just now, you're sitting with your ass in jail for 5 years, and then every time you get a job, you apply for a job, you've got to put down felon. Is this worth it?
Comes back out, the co-host, and makes some comments to Kai Cenat, and basically implies he's like Diddy. It doesn't go well.
So congratulations to you. Oh, and also, congrats on your new documentary with 50 Cent. That was you, right?
Oh, gee, you're so witty. How funny you are. Yeah, let's accuse a guy of running a child pedo ring. Oh, fucking hell. Check this dude at the bottom left here. Check him. Notice how many other people are laughing like she is. None.
If you all gonna be on the mic, now turn this mic, now turn this shit on. Turn this shit on. If you all gonna be on the mic making jokes, at least let it be funny.
Thank you. Brilliant.
Again, more just kind of generally obnoxious behavior. I don't know how anyone really finds this stuff too entertaining, but yeah, you know what?
It's not entertaining. And so how much do you think they paid to be there?
There's one thing to make jokes, but like to call a dude and imply he's like Diddy to his face in front of all of his colleagues and friends.
Well, she never to might be picking at nits here, but she didn't say he was Diddy or like Diddy or anything. She implied it. So if you don't have context, you wouldn't know what she was talking about.
And in front of hundreds of thousands of people watching the live stream, like, I don't know, man. I don't think most people would take that one on the chin too much, but this right here, if this guy had an issue, he should have just said something afterwards. But, you know, I guess grabbing the mic away from people is a theme of the nights, apparently. But anyways, things would get even cringy.
Base title there because, like, if you're gonna make jokes, at least be funny about it, right? It's like I forget who he was talking about, but Crispin Freeman said he quoted something that if you're gonna break the rules regarding Twilight, if you're gonna break the rules, be brilliant, right? If you're gonna make jokes, be funny.
Cutie Cinderella wanted to end the night on a positive note. And, some jokes landed, some didn't, but I think this is the ultimate joke of the night, where she's saying she wants to build bridges and have an award show like this as a vehicle for togetherness.
Okay, before we listen, I'm just going to say you're putting people in competition, which might have worked 30, 50, 60, 100 years ago to bring people together, right? You hear stories. I don't know whether they're confirmed or not, but you hear stories about German soldiers and Allied soldiers in at the trenches at the Battle of the Somme or whatever coming together for like a Christmas or something, and they just have a good time. They're playing games. They're like forming bands and what with harmonicas. They're just sharing wine and chocolates and shit, and they're just having a good time. Enemies on the battlefield, they come together in the middle of the trenches and just having a good time for Christmas and whatnot. So you could have that. You used to have team spirits where opposing teams would face off against each other and one would win and the other team would be genuinely, you know what, well done, well played. You don't have that anymore because everybody's a winner. And this is what participation awards and shit have actually done. And I sound like a boomer now, but I remember getting awards I remember getting awards at high school. What was it? Something like uh, the, the nicest person award. What the fuck? you know? Um, but then back in primary school, I was the best at English in my whole class. I was the best at poetry. I wrote the best stories and things. I got awards. I still have those certificates. I was the best at reading in my class. Those are actual achievements. And the competition, even as I recall, was pretty fierce. But you know what? I came out on top. I didn't get an award for, oh, you've got the best manicure, or you say the nicest things, or you showed up a lot. No, cuck.
What I was saying, though, is that I never created this show with the sole purpose of handing out awards. So, little boy up there, I hope you feel really good about yourself, because
Yeah, that's building bridges, huh?
this right here, this is a vehicle for togetherness.
No, it's not.
This is about building bridges. Okay?
No, it's not.
That's what this is for. And if you're watching right now, maybe you're watching in a chat right now with your favorite streamer. Maybe it's in a Discord call with some friends. Maybe you took the time out of your day to come into this room and watch and be together with us today. And for one night out of the whole entire year, I am lucky enough that all of you let me bring you together. Because we are so quick to criticize online, and I hope a night like this reminds everyone to slow down and find time to
Oh God, are you gonna start crying again?
support each other.
Now, I'm sure it's not obvious right now, but I'm really trying to focus in. I'm trying to get a laser focus on situations like this, because whenever I see stuff like this, I think it's a load of baloney. Okay,
Yeah.
personally, like looking at
From my perspective, what she said was completely out of touch. Like, it made no sense at all, and this is not the way you bring people together.
this, her message about the streamer awards and how this is a place where we're having a vehicle for togetherness and building bridges and yada yada yada.
Where's the campfire? Let's roast marshmallows and sing Kumbaya while we're at it.
It's just some kumbaya stuff. This is just another circle jerk of the popular streamers in the scene, and they're just there to pat each other on the back.
Yeah, it's the apex of the streamer world up there to make themselves feel good, and like we're just like the rest of you. We're not rich, and we're not hugely rich and successful, and we haven't lost touch with how things were when we started. No, we're just like the rest of you. No, you're fucking not, and it's insulting for you to try.
Feel important and apparently create a lot of drama as well. But yeah, let's not pretend that's not what this is. On top of that, Cutie Cinderella being the person to deliver all this and to host the Streamer Awards is very ironic given the fact that recently in an interview, she said she would be a much happier person if she never became a streamer. The timing on this, not the best. There's
Yeah.
also some
The biggest thing I wish I could do if I went back and was able to whisper in my ear, I would say, "Don't do it." Yeah, it's hard to. Yeah, it's easy to say that when you're a millionaire. Hey, yeah, I mean, you dropped $1 million on your streamer award things, so I'm assuming you have a hell of a lot more than a million going for you. Yeah, it's been real fucking tough, huh?
something else in this that I want to point out. It's not really that fair. It's not really a vehicle for togetherness like she wants to say. It's the people in the in crowd, specifically people who are brand safe. And brand safe has a
But I'm never going to win an award. I'm never going to get invited to the show. I could get double the views, double the votes as everybody else, and they would say nope, and I wonder why. It's a mystery.
very weird definition because apparently zapping dogs is brand safe, but being people like Asmongold is nuts. And this was his thoughts about the future possibility of him ever winning a streamer award. Spoiler alert, I don't think it's going to happen.
Maybe next year people vote for you. Oh yeah, yeah, for sure, guys. For sure, I'm gonna get in there tomorrow. I'm never gonna win an award. I'm never gonna get invited to the show. It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. It's not gonna happen next year. It's not gonna happen the year after that. It's never gonna happen. Like it, love it, hate it, cry about it. That's the way it is. They never gonna give me an award. I could get double the views as everybody else, double the votes as everybody else, and they would say nope. And I wonder why.
Yeah, but she wants to promote togetherness, and yeah.
I wonder why. It's a fuck mystery. Nobody knows why. Nobody can figure it out. So yeah, and yeah, that's it. And so, because you wouldn't go, I mean, I never went before. Honestly, I never went before. But no, I'm like, don't ever expect that to happen. It's never gonna happen. Like, I'm just being real.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
far as I'm concerned, if people like Asmongold, who clearly are at the top of the streaming game, are not even invited or even included as a nominee for anything, stuff like this is a joke. Streamer awards are a joke, and they really exist to create drama, clip-worthy moments for people to flex who are there, and also to bring up some discussions like, you know, the whole VTubing thing we talked about today. It brings up some subjects that are worthy of discussion, but not for the reasons that I'm sure the Streamer Awards intended. But yeah, that is
I think it's for exactly the reasons the streamer awards intend. For all cutie Cinderella saying it's not meant to just for awards and it's to promote togetherness. Um, no, I don't believe a word of it.
is the events. I look forward to 2026 if it happens. But once again, the Streamer Awards providing some quality content, not in the way they probably intended, but that's kind of the way things work. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, so I wonder about like, um, why does wholesome not sell? Why does wholesome and actually like good material not make it to this sort of thing? Why we got 17-year-olds who steal shit on stream? Why are they even there? You know, I don't get it. But it's like all viral things. You had the Tide Pod challenge. You got all these stupid challenges on TikTok, and none of them they're self-destructive to say the least. And it's and yet that's what grabs people's attention. And I don't understand it. I'd much rather go into something that teaches me something, or I'm able to teach other people something, or something that is at least wholesome, makes me happy inside. It doesn't have to be like all nursery rhymes and fairy tales and whatnot, but a story about a rescued dog. finding its forever home, or people. I absolutely love those things where those social experiments where the guy goes into a like a diner or something. I think I saw one the other night. It was a Subway, and the dude's like, "I got $5. What can I get?" And the girl behind the counter was like, "No, don't worry, I got you." And then the police officer next to him was like, "I got you, don't worry about it." And he had money, and he was just looking for the help, and he gave, well, he couldn't give the cop any because that's not he's not allowed to, but he gave the girl behind the counter $100. And he was like, you know what, that's just for being so awesome and helping me out when you thought I didn't, when you thought I needed help. So I love shit like that. I would much rather see that than half of this crap that the burnt peanut and this what was his name, Rakai or something. Yeah, but that's good. Like Red said, that's going to do it for this video. Be sure to check out the original video in the link's going to be in the description. Be sure that for when you get up and go, got up and went, you go get your energy and hydration with Pugger's Energy and Lifestyle. And then don't just reforge your gear, Starforge it with my links in Starforge also in the description. Take care, everybody. Streams coming up soon again. Probably one tonight, maybe tomorrow as well throughout this week. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and goodbye.